This just into CBS Sports HQ, where Draymond Green has publicly apologized for punching teammate Jordan Poole during practice earlier this week. Green said that he apologized to Poole and his family, saying he was wrong and embarrassed by his actions. The four-time champion added that he must now work on rebuilding the trust of his teammates. Here's more from Draymond.
I appreciate them taking that as serious as they have and are doing. But for whoever leaked the video, it did the same thing to me that is intended to do to the world. It's an audioless video. It's a video that cuts to me walking right to him, and so the video serves the purpose that it was supposed to serve. And it had me in the same mind state of like, wow, this is terrible. This is awful. And by the way, it is terrible and it is awful. Like, just because of the way the video is cut up and is not released with audio and all of those things, what I did was wrong. So regardless of the video leaking or not, regardless of how the video was leaked, with audio or without audio, I was wrong. And so I accept that. And I will move forward with that. But in saying that, you asked my thoughts of what I thought of the video, and those are my thoughts.
Draymond, you probably asked yourself 1,000 questions in the last few days, but for somebody to go to that extreme, usually, you got to be taken there. Have you wondered how you got to that point? I'm pretty in tune with myself. I can walk you through everything of how I got to that point. That doesn't make it right. And because it doesn't make it right, I won't. Because for me, walking you through that is a sympathy tactic, and I'm not looking for sympathy. Nor am I the person who needs sympathy. If anyone deserves some sympathy, it's Jordan, it's this team. It's this organization. It's not me. So I don't need sympathy. I'm not looking for sympathy. And quite frankly, to try to walk someone through what got me there would be trying to get you to understand my point of view and trying to tell my side of the story, and that's irrelevant because what I did was wrong. Regardless of what got me there or what didn't. As a human being, we make mistakes, and I made a huge mistake, and I own that. And so to try to get someone to understand my point of view, or I think it's unnecessary, it's not right. It's not right for this team. And so I'll just leave that where it is. Much is said about this team's winning culture and your role in that. What do you think this does to that?
Nothing. We're professionals. We have a job to do, and we're winners, and winners win. And so winners find a way to win. I have been a winner my entire life. I'm going to find a way to win. Now, that's from a winning standpoint. From a human being standpoint, from a personal standpoint, I have some things to fix, and I'm going to fix those things. I'm going to take a few days away because, quite frankly, if I'm being honest, it's hard for me to walk up to Jordan right now, and so, like I said, I'll take some time and, work through my things, allow him and this team to work through their things, separate of me, because there will be a time to work through those things with me. And I look forward to those times. But as far as winning goes, we've been through some shit to win at the level that we've won at. Like, some of them public, but a lot more private. And this is no different. It's different from the standpoint of my actions and what happened. But as far as winning goes, you go through things to win. And I'm disappointed that this is something that I created that we have to go through. And like I said, for that reason, I'll do all that I have to do to make it right. But this won't affect winning. Winners win. Winners find a way, and we'll win.
Draymond, you continually have said you have work to do. Are you getting help, and are you dealing with like anger management issues or therapists, or how are you going to work through this?
I think we all in life have anger management issues because we all have buttons that can be pushed. And so I am working on myself regardless. I am working on Draymond Green is a constant work in process, is a very flawed individual. And so I will continue to work on me, as I always am, and that won't change. That is, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And if you're not working to get better, you can only get worse. And so for me, I'm always working to improve. I'm always working to improve, obviously, from a basketball perspective. But more importantly than that, I am always working to improve myself. And, this is no anger management issue. Like, man, you just can't control yourself and you lash out and you, like, again, I know that, the way the video that you saw is cut is as such to where I essentially walked into practice and did what I did. And I take that very seriously because hurt people hurt people. And I was in a very contentious space that morning of dealing with some things that's very near and dear to me. And I hurt someone because I was in a place of hurt. And for that, I've apologized. And, you apologize with words, but ultimately your actions show your apologies. And so I've apologized with my words to my team, like I said, to Jordan. And now I will allow my actions to show my apology moving forward. But in saying that, like I said before, I have an issue with how to let my emotions out. And quite frankly, I like to keep my emotions in because I don't like to give people that. I don't like to give people the power over my emotions. And so you internalize them. I know I do. In saying that, it's not something that I want to change because I like to keep my emotions to myself. But what I do want to change and what I do need to work on is how they end up coming out. And how do you let them out without them coming out in a way that ultimately you regret. And this is one that I sincerely regret, which there's not many things in life that I regret because I feel like, regrets is essentially something that you feel you done wrong. And if you could have done it differently, that things would be different. And so for me personally, regrets, I take them as lessons. But this one in particular, someone else has to deal with that. And so because someone else has to deal with it, this is a regret. And, I'll continue to work on myself and, take very seriously other things that I need to work on as a human being. But in saying that, as I said before, the number one thing I think I need to work on is how do your emotions come out? That's a big one for me. It's been a big one my whole life. I think I've improved on it, but I had a long way to go.
Draymond, you've kind of, I guess, been alluding to this, but I mean, your fire is something that this team sees as a positive attribute. There have been dust-ups or stuff in the past, but this one, does this one just feel different than other, either arguments or fights that may have come up in the past?
It feels different because number one, everything that's fresh feels different. You know, so when something is brand new, it'll always feel different. Number two, because someone else was affected. And so because someone else was affected, to me personally, it feels different. I think one of the things that make me happy in life is making other people happy. That's something that I enjoy. To see other people smile, to see someone doing well, to help someone do better. I get a lot of joy out of that. Hence the fact in winning my last 3 championships, I get more joy out of watching the guys who win it first, like their first one. That brings me more joy than anything. Watching someone do well and succeed brings me more joy than my personal successes. And so from that standpoint, it's absolutely different because someone else was affected in a major way. And so that makes it different. Ultimately, at some point with this team, my goal is, and my job is to make sure that it is a bump in the road that we all get through, and that's the work that I am doing. That's the work that I'll continue to ramp up as see fit. You know, you don't just ramp that up right away because that won't be fixed in a day. You know, it may not be fixed in a week. It may not be fixed in a month. And so as we move forward, I'll continue to ramp up that work that I'm doing on that front as it's more tolerable. You know, when things first happen, it's just not as tolerable because you're still working through those initial emotions. You're still working through the initial reactions. You know, you're still working through all of those things. So, you know, that's where it differs. And, you know, however, like I said, that's where it differs. But my job as a leader, my job as a winner, is to do all that I can to make it where in April, May, and June, that it was a bump in the road for this team that we got over and we rolled on our way.
What do you mean that it because it affected someone else? Because couldn't you say that any time that there is an argument or a fight that someone is affected, or is it just the way that Jordan is feeling about it, or like why has this affected someone but other incidents haven't affected someone?
Jordan's feeling definitely is most important. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure how he feels. That's not a bridge that we've really crossed yet. Nor should it be a bridge that we've really crossed yet. And other things, the way they affect people, I think words or arguments, an argument requires 2 people, not just one. No one argues with themselves. And so I think words has an effect for sure. So I've continued to learn in my life, words definitely have an effect, but they do not have the same effect as actions. Either way, good or bad, i.e. an apology. Apologies are great. Apologies are accepted or not. But actions after the apology ultimately carries the most weight. And so that right there alone shows you that actions are more important than words. And so when you have something that is action-packed, if you will, it is different than just some words. And so that's why this is different.
Dre, I know you said you're going to take some time away. Do you expect to play on the 18th?
Yeah, I expect to play. Now, will I play? That's a totally different story. And that's something that we will continue to figure out as we move forward and just feel through what's right. Like I said before, there's no right or wrong answer. The right answer is, hey man, you'll be away from the team going through the regular season. The right answer is you'll be away from the team for another day or 2 or 3 or not. There is no right answer. Quite frankly, I don't think there's a wrong answer either. But what the answer is to feel our way through this. That's what this ultimately boils down to. And so, do I expect to play? I hope to play. It's the first day or the first real day as far as games go and things counting that matters on our mission and goal to repeat. So yeah, I hope to, and yes, I do expect to, but in saying that, that's not something that's been decided. That's not something that's certain. That's something that we'll continue to work through over the days to come and just try to feel our way through what's best for our team, because ultimately that's what matters the most, is this team. And we'll figure out and feel our way through what's best, and we'll go from there.
Draymond Green speaking to the media about his incident with Jordan Poole, the video which was released late in the week, emphatically admitting that he was wrong and that he was in a contentious state in the lead up to the incident. But he said it won't affect the winning culture of his team, but he has some things to fix. He's going to take some time to do that. Again, stating at the end that he's not sure if he will play October 18th when they open the regular season, hosting the Lakers at 10 p.m. Eastern time, but he said he would like to play. As you take a look at the odds, they are the defending champions of the Warriors, 6-1 to win that championship again in the 2022-23 season.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.